I was first drawn into chemistry when I was in high school, doing, simple high school experiments and just loving the fact that it was so colorful. I never decided one day I want to be a chemist, but I always basically just wanted to keep doing more chemistry and pushing it to a higher and higher level. So going to university to study chemistry and then enjoying the research project my final year so much that I decided I wanted to carry on and do a PhD and enjoying really pushing the boundaries of knowledge in my PhD research. So I had some opportunities to go internationally, to do research in Japan and America, and then eventually come back to the UK. In 2023, I went to the GP in the morning, thinking it was a small sports injury. Came out feeling totally happy, went into my lab on that day, did my normal work. At 5:30, got a call from the doctor saying I need to go to hospital right now. So within the space of about 3 hours, I went from having a totally normal, happy science life into everything being totally turned upside down. I was diagnosed with a form of leukemia. That now, 2 years later, I'm physically healthy again, and the side effects of the chemotherapy are still present. I have to still keep taking medicines, and the side effects are almost a continuous thing. And even though it's been now 2.5 years, I still feel worse physically now than I did on the morning of the day when I was diagnosed. One of the biggest side effects I suffer is chronic fatigue. Lab work is very physical. You're on your feet a lot, moving around, manipulating things. I have a much lower capacity for doing that than I did previously, and given my work output ultimately is performing experiments in the lab, being physically less able to do that is an impediment to the progress of my research. Being employed on a fixed term contract, as most postdocs are, the amount of research I'll be able to do in the fixed time that I have is less, which obviously has an impact on my career progression in the longer term, as well as the kind of short-term day-to-day frustration of not being able to do as much as I would like, or that I used to be able to do. It's almost not covered by rest. If you're tired and you rest, you get better. Fatigue, in this medical sense, for me, is a much deeper thing. Not just that my battery has been emptied and needs to be recharged, but that my battery has just been ripped out and thrown away. Memory loss is another significant barrier for me. I think this even more so in my work. Like most scientists or academics, one of our defining characteristics of how we define ourselves, how people see us, is being smart, being intelligent. Just suddenly, I know what I was going to say, and suddenly my mental connection is not there anymore, which is quite a kind of scary, almost embarrassing thing. If I'm up in front of a lecture hall with 100 students and you're supposed to be the smart one, and every 2 minutes you're forgetting what you're going to say, it's very confidence damaging. And again, it also means I think I don't do my job as well as I used to be able to do, because of the memory, the body of experience that I know I have, that I could draw on to help students or to guide my research. A lot of that I just can't access anymore. At least in my experience, there are particular challenges to it. Being invisible, that people don't believe that I'm not well, or that there is some kind of underlying problem that I have to really push and push to get people to understand that I need some extra adjustment or some change to be made. And that effort takes away from the now limited energy that I have. It's taking away from my ability to do something productive and useful, fighting for my own self to just have a place in chemistry still. We're employed for a short period of time, for a year or two, and have to produce as much research output in that time as we can, which basically descends into a competition of who can work the hardest and the fastest. And that's how career progression and opportunities are decided. And I know I'm still a perfectly good chemist, but I can't work as fast or as hard as I used to be able to. And does that mean that I'm no longer able to pursue the career that I'm very good at, that I want to follow, simply because I can't keep up at the front of the race? If I could pose one question to society, what I would ask is, if it was someone you cared about in my situation, would you want them to be treated in the same way as you're treating me now?